Hello, beautiful creatures of the world. Welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. I hope you guys are having a high vibe and kind of day. I hope you're putting out a lot of love and kindness into the world, and I hope that's coming back into your life tenfold, because you know the rules, beautiful creatures of the world. The energy you put out into the universe goes back into your life in vast abundance. So please be careful with that energy exchange. It is the law of the universe. We do not make the laws, but we do have to live by them. If you've never been to my channel before, welcome to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. If you were to come to my house today, you'd sit down at my table, I'd give you a cup of coffee, and we'd spend the afternoon shooting the shit. That's what we do here. Kind of like a variety show. Some days we're on spot and you want more. Other days we're a little sketch and it's a cliffhanger. We have those days. And other days we're a shit show. Today, we're a shit show. It's well above 80 degrees, so I've been playing Water Girl, movie Waterboy. Well, I've been doing Water Girl all day. Been running out to the barn, make sure all the critter in the coops, in the pens, in the barn are completely happy. They are being watered down. They're being fed. They're just kicking back, relaxing, and going, hey, farmer girl, we need more water over here. It is called extreme farming. If you have to farm in the extreme heat or in the extreme cold, you're playing extreme farming, and it ain't fun, let me tell you. It's been a wild week here. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. I didn't get a Father's Day video up. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do a Father's. I'm smirking because it's, yeah. I'm gonna do a video just for dads. Let's put it that way. Some dads need to be honored, and some dads are just. Anyways, we're gonna have a video coming up on dads and fatherhood, and I have some words because this is my soapbox, and I have a lot of opinions, and I talk a lot of smack, but my smack has truth all through it. Here at the Homestead, I'm not going to tell you if the sky is pink when it is blue. I'm not going to tell you the grass is purple when it is green. We fly the American flag. Don't tread on me. I tell the truth. That's it. And we're going to be doing some hefty discussions coming up now that we got a new camera, because the old camera broke. See, this is what happens. This is why I was gone for a while. The old camera broke. I know some people messaged me and said, I miss your videos. You just started last week. Oh my gosh, where'd you go? Camera broke. So we were supposed to put up the wellness and meditation tent last night, but that didn't happen because we had situations all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. We had to go to the big city, which is a town over 20 minutes away, but it's a big city, to get a new camera. Then we intended to come home and put up the meditation and wellness tent so that I could film in the natural lighting today. Screened up from the bugs so the bugs weren't getting in my hair and in my teeth and in my eyeballs. And have our conversation out there. That didn't happen because when we came home from the big city, there was a Fisher cat perusing our livestock out by the barn. So instead of meditation and wellness tent going up, we had to make sure every nook and cranny was fastened. There are no holes. The Fisher cat didn't damage anything, and make sure we shored everything up so that we have full security. Then we had to put the radio out there last night. And then we had to put up the motion sensor lights, the solar motion sensor lights, because Fisher cats do not like human noise. They do not like bright lights. We put the coyote urine everywhere because coyotes are predators of the Fisher cat. If you don't know what a Fisher cat is, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a cat, and they don't fish. It is a weasel. It's part of the weasel family, and they like to eat chickens, they like bunnies, they like turkeys, they like small cats, and they like small dogs. So they will attack everything and anything that's smaller than them. And so that was that last night. So we spent the evening doing that. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning, Gizmo, our rooster, decided he was going to start screaming. So went to bed at 12, was up at 2, outside. Everybody got their bear spray in their hand because we're going to spray the hell out of this damn Fisher cat if it was trying to get into our coop. And it wasn't. Gizmo was talking to the radio. So a couple hours to fall back to sleep, and then up at the ass crack of dawn to do our real chores. We have the Amish installing a roof across the street, and my lovely dogs think that they own the entire neighborhood. They're on patrol, and yeah, there you go. So there's a lot going on. Now, the camera also has some pretty wild graphs and things, and it's monitoring noise, and it's monitoring voice quality, and it's monitoring picture quality, and it's got multi-cameras, and it's got this, and it's got that graph, and this bar. So I'm kind of like all over the place with my eyes, and I am so sorry. So we are in the fiber studio today because outside is miserable, and if you'll notice, there are things missing from the walls of the old fiber studio because we're putting up the new fiber studio next week. What you can't see, where the cameras aren't showing you, is the boxes and boxes of things that are packed up to be put in the new fiber studio. It's going to take me longer to set up the studio than it is for them to build it. But then I'll have my little piece of heaven on earth, and there you go. I'll be a happy girl. I'll have my studio. We'll be out there filming. We'll be out there playing with fiber. We'll be out there doing a lot of cool things. So we're excited for that. We're hoping everything goes off without a hitch because, you know, rain. We live in rain country. It's either 85 degrees or it's pouring rain, and it's just whatever. So that's what we fight against up on the Canadian border. Some rocky weather. We've had dinner discussions lately, himself and I. My content is made just from our dinner discussions. We talk about our hopes, our dreams, our goals, our aspirations for our lives, our marriage, the homestead, our separate businesses, because we both own our own businesses. You know, he's in his high 50s, I'm in my low 50s, and we have a lot of time to realize these hopes, dreams, goals, and ambitions. And the conversation kind of turned a little bit morbid, and we got to talking about what type of legacy we are building for our grandchildren. You see a lot of YouTubers, big channels, little channels, everybody's talking about the culture war. We live in an unhealthy society all the way around. Our diet's unhealthy, we don't exercise enough, mentally we're just shit people are doing. The shit people talk about, the shit people are doing to themselves, their bodies, the children, the this, the that. I mean, it's enough to make your head explode. People find it easier to go along and get along than they do to say, no, the truth is this. Critical thinking is out the frickin' window, ladies and gentlemen. It's just out the window. Nobody, very, very small population on Earth actually use critical thinking skills, because like I said, nobody wants to be ostracized. Nobody wants to be that kid on the playground. Nobody wants the finger pointing at them. It's easier to go along and get along, and then that's that. Do as you're told. Well, I was never good with authority figures. Never good with authority my whole life. I had questions, I wanted answers, I was getting answers. My favorite question was why. I was my mother's why kid. My mother would say, be quiet. Why? Because I told you so. Why? You know, I just wanted the explanation. And my kids, see, I used to drive my mother crazy. My mother would end up being, at the end of the whole spiel, she'd just say, because I said so. I'm the parent and I said so. I never did that to my kids. I used to drive my mother nuts. I'd say to my kids, do this. And they'd say, why? And then I'd go in a full-blown explanation as to why they need to do it. My mother used to go, you're just the mother. Just tell them because I said so. But that wasn't the thing. I wanted my kids to know why I'm asking them to do this. And I wouldn't ask my kids to do anything that I wouldn't do anyway. So there you go. If it was a chore, take out the trash, they're doing it because I would do it. That's it. I never had these unrealistic goals. So I just explained everything to my kids. And that's not the generation that my mother was from. You did what your parents said. You didn't ask questions. And that's how I was raised. You did what mom said. No questions asked. However, I need to know why. And I need to say to myself, if everybody's doing this because these people said to do it, what are the pros? What are the cons? What are the benefits to me, to the people doing it? And if I don't see the benefits, if I see there are more cons than pros, it ain't happening. I'm doing my own thing. I'm just going to think about it a little bit. But critical thinking out the window. That's just the way it is. We are such an unhealthy society. We see the YouTubers talk about this cultural war, the unhealthy society. It's the millennials. They're going, hey, Gen Xers. And yes, I have heard you. The big channels and the little channels. The millennials that are running those channels are saying, well, you know, where are the Gen Xers? Gen Xers don't want to get into politics. We just don't want it. They're saying, well, Gen Xers, you're just kicking back. You don't want to be bothered with nothing. You're not doing anything. What are you doing? Where's the revolution? Where's the resistance? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you now, millennials. Big channels, little channels alike. Everybody asking, where's the Gen Xers? My grandparents were the greatest generation. Depression, World War II. My parents were boomers. Still are boomers. They're still with us. So I can't say were. They are boomers. I'm the Gen Xer. In the 70s, a lot of the boomers, late 60s, early 70s, they did the back to the land movement. It didn't last long. It wasn't a strong movement. Many of them went back into society to join the rat race, have the things, have the money, have the house, the white picket fence, the whole 9 yards, the cars, back to the landing. It happened and then it stopped. Well, I'm going to tell you where the Gen Xers are. You are not going to see a revolution like 1776, my millennial friends. You are not going to see a civil war. I know a lot of the big guys are like, civil war. You're not going to see a civil war like you did in the 1800s. You are going to see a quiet revolution with the Gen Xers. What are we doing, the Gen Xers? We're going back to the land. We're going to live hand in hand, as close to nature as possible. And this is the legacy we're giving to our grandchildren. Yes, we are. I know a lot of millennials don't have children right now. They're in their mid-30s. They still don't have kids. That's great. They decided to follow careers, whatever, dreams, aspirations, and goals that they want to meet before they have kids. That's great. But we, Generation X, are the great resistance. We are teaching our young people how to live independently, how to live self-sufficiently. We are teaching them prepping. We are teaching them food storage. We are teaching them organic gardening. We are teaching them to build the soil so that you don't need fertilizer, because, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a point where you ain't going to be able to get no 10-10-10 or no Miracle Grow. So you really do need to get back to organics, which starts with building your soil, saving your soil. We are teaching our grandchildren how to successfully manage worm farms. Yes, we are. We are teaching composting. We are teaching living on a homestead again. We are teaching that your food doesn't come from the market. It comes from Mima's chicken out in the barn. Go get your egg in the morning, bring it in. Mima will scramble it up for you with some fresh milk that either comes from the goats or a cow. It does not come from the back room of the store, which I know people my age that think that we're out of milk at the store and it's just going to produce more in the back, because that's all you do. You just go back there and get it. It comes from a cow from a farm, okay? We are teaching the children that you need to prepare your food, your shelter. Be your first responder. We live on a homestead. We cook with wood 365 days a year, including in this heat. In this heat, we move out to a grill in the summer, so it's not as dastardly as it sounds. 80 degrees, I'm cooking outside tonight on a nice gas grill. But chimney fires, we're going to be our first responders, because it's going to take them 15 minutes to come from downtown to my house to help me put out a chimney fire. So we do it ourselves. Of course, we're going to get on the phone if it happens, but we're not going to lose the property. We are going to do what we have to do, because we are prepared enough to be our own first response team on this homestead. That's what we are doing, millennials. All of you asking, where's the revolution? Where's the great resist? We're here. We're helping. We're helping quietly. We're helping peacefully. We're not going to be out in the streets holding signs, rabble, rabble, rabble. That's not us. We are teaching the next generation to provide as much as they can for themselves, to be dependent on themselves, not on big institutions, to critically think that 1 + 1 = 2, not 6, or whatever the hell it is. The sky is not pink, it is blue. The grass is not purple, it is green. And that's where we are. We are bringing the next generation back to the land. That's the legacy we're building for our grandchildren. What's your legacy look like? What kind of legacy are you building for your kids, for your grandkids, for future generation if you don't have kids or don't plan to have any children? What type of legacy do you want to leave the world when you're gone? Put it in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion about legacies. I'd like to have a discussion to see on how people are shaping their lives and how they want to be remembered and what they want to be remembered for when they're gone. That's the end of this discussion, beautiful creatures of the world. Carpe diem, beautiful creatures of the world, because no one promised you a tomorrow.